Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. Got another beer from Boothbay Craft Brewery here. This is their Wet Hop Dream Local Ale. Let's see. Sorry, white lettering on brown background and crappy lighting does not do well, so I'll try not to sound like an idiot reading this. We vow to always use some amount of Maine malt in every batch we brew. But this special beer, brewed only once a year, contains 100% Maine ingredients. Barley from Blue Ox Malt House, freshly picked hops from the Alna Hop Yard and Farm, and yeast sourced from a brother brewery makes this a true collaboration of hard-working Mainers. Find out just when. I think they were supposed to say what. Find out just went into this beer and our interpretation of it by following the vintage code on the tag. Cheers. There's a vintage code. I'm guessing it's down here. I mentioned in a previous review of the Boothbay Craft Brewery beers where they put the printout of the canning date. Sometimes they have a little comment here. On this one it says, Pale Ale brewed with Blue Ox malt, Maine grains, oats, wet hops, and hop powder from Alna Hop Yard, and ale yeast from Sheepscot Valley Brewing. 6% ABV, not too bad. Well, Sheepscot Valley's got some decent brews too. So, I like when these projects come together. They usually wind up being pretty decent. I know that Allagash has done them. A couple of other breweries have done them. This is actually, they say that they've done this every year. This is the first I've heard of Wet Hop Dream. So maybe I've just not seen it because it hasn't been canned and not made available in the stores. It might have been a brewery exclusive or seen limited release before. Or I'm sorry, limited distribution. But, yeah. I always like it when they put these things together and they keep things local. I'm interested to find out what hop powder is. I think it's just what it sounds like, powdered hops. Wet Hop Dream Local Ale. I'm guessing it's going to be... It is a pale ale, and it sounds like it's pretty hoppy. Wow, that's the second Boothbay beer that has actually splattered like that on me out of the can tonight. Pretty effervescent on the pour. I did get pretty aggressive there right off the bat, though, and let it glug out pretty good. Ooh. It's a bit cloudy. It's got a bit of an orange-tinged color to it. Slightly effervescent, just a few bubbles coming up through. But it's, it's very cloudy and orange. A golden orange. I'm a little transfixed by the color here in the thicker part of the glass. It's got a really nice orange color to it, but there's something else. There's like that golden tinge, like I said. It's almost a copper color, but it's not quite copper. I am getting an overall hoppy bitterness, but there's a little hint of a mineral smell, like a sulfurous smell. Almost a metallic tang. And I don't know if you ever take a couple pieces of quartz stone, you bang them together. If you do that in the dark, you can see them throw off sparks. Used to do it as a kid. It reminds me of the odor in the air after doing that. This is a very mineral smell to it, which I find interesting. I know I keep using these 12-ounce glasses. I've got to get another larger Sammy Perfect Pint glass. Or get the fucking house so that we can dig into these boxes and get it all out. Anyway. That's a whole different conversation. Up front, I'm getting a solid hoppy bitterness. It's got a nice medium mouthfeel. It's got a bit of a creamy texture to it, if that wasn't evident from the head. It's not very effervescent, but it's cloudy, so that lends to that. That would lend you to assume that it's somewhat creamy, is what I'm trying to spit out here. In other words, the texture is very creamy, but I'm not surprised by that, given the appearance of the beer. But up front, just this punch of overall hoppy bitterness, followed by some pretty solid earthy notes. Whew, pardon. Even in the... Ooh, excuse me. As it's coming back up, it's still pretty earthy. There is some nice fresh grassiness to it as well. And of course, the freshness coming from the wet hopping. But some serious earthy tones to it. And like I said, a little bit of grassiness, a little bit of freshness. Maybe some tiny hints of floral notes in the finish. Now, personally, I'm geared more towards citrus and pine than anything else, so the fact that I'm not picking up on much of those out of this beer is actually impressing me. Because you can give me any IPA, no matter how well balanced it is, and citrus and pine are going to dominate for me. So the fact that I'm getting mostly earthy, a little bit of grassy, and some slight hints of floral in the finish, that's really impressing me. And I believe this has happened with Boothbay beers before, is that they hit me with a hop combination that gives me the esters that I don't normally pick up on. And I always like it when that happens because I don't taste those often enough. It's a very interesting mineral aroma, followed up by a nice earthy, with those other subtle hints that I mentioned, hop blend. I'm really enjoying this one because, like I said, I'm getting some flavors out of it that I don't normally get in a beer. I mean, otherwise it's a really well put together IPA with that slightly creamy texture. That's pushing it up a notch for me as well. I gotta hit this one with a 4.5 out of 5. I'm not quite getting that wow, blown away reaction, but it's as close to that as it can get. It's a damn good beer. So I guess that's really all I've got to say about it. Hit me up down in the comments and email link down below. I'd like to know what you have to say about this beer. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. And if you liked it a lot, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, folks, support local Maine brewing. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.